Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. This is a channel about foreigner and Filipina relationships, about the ones that lead to marriage. I think those are the only relationships those are the best ones because you've got a life partner that's with you together, just you and them, and that's enough of a workload, believe me, to just get along with one person, but it's a great exercise in maturity and growing up. And so I think young people also should be considering finding love beyond the sea. Now, comment here from TikTok I thought was interesting. They say, I see it as these old men are going through a midlife crisis. There are so many women your age in America to marry. This is also BS. So when I was 53, back in 2015, I married a woman from Davao City, Philippines. After a very quick 18-day engagement, and then I married her in the Philippines shortly thereafter. We got married in less than 8 weeks. And, excuse me, I'm just starting that kind of cold as the fall weather comes around here, so I'm not feeling the best. But midlife crisis, I mean, that's possible that somebody could go through a midlife crisis and then want to go almost 10,000 miles away to marry a younger woman. That's possible. But all I can do is answer this question for myself and know that that wasn't anything I thought about. I wanted to get married for many, many, many years before I did. And I lived here in America, and I had no success. I tried 4 dating sites, 2 of them a couple of times to no avail. And once it got to about 30, it just seemed like it was all downhill. In fact, when I was in my mid-20s, I realized this was going to be a lot harder than I thought it was. A lot of people at that age, they've moved on. They found who they're going to be with, or maybe they left the state. Their lives continue, so they move on. And if you're not, don't have something going by the time you're 25, you might be where I was, alone until I was 53. But it wasn't a midlife crisis that made me go to the Philippines. She made the comment later about it's not good when people see you together and they think, that's your daughter or your granddaughter. I don't think people think that when they see us together. In fact, believe it or not, the small church I was going to for several years before I met and married my wife had, call it a welcome to USA shower for her. Excuse me. And they bought us about 70 gifts. I would say my wife bought her about 70 gifts. And there are about 70 members in the church. And a couple of women got together to welcome my wife to the church, to the country. And I can, in my mind, I can kind of see her speaking, remembering a video that she took when she was over there at the church, and she was very emotional. And they went out of their way to welcome her. And whenever I'm at church, if she's not there with me, where's Isa? And we usually go at night, and we went in the morning one time, and then she had to go to work or to pick somebody up for something. And so then people that hadn't seen us for basically a couple of years were saying, where's Isa? Can I talk to Isa? So they care for my wife. They're very interested in her well-being, as I am. So this age gap has not been an issue with the people close to me. Our financial advisor, our doctors, dentists, people like that. Small family members here have embraced her as they would if she was an American woman in her 50s. So I did want a younger woman, as many men do, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there are women who are in their 30s who can make you a perfectly good wife. I know people say, well, they all have children and I don't want to be a father. Well, they don't all. I know that for a fact. They don't all. You just have to get out there and something like I did, Christian Filipina, and start going through those filters for the age groups and keep looking and talking to people. And then finding somebody you want to marry and you can get married. I needed a wife. And if I have to explain that, then I really can't. It wouldn't do any good. And my wife needed a husband. I proposed to her. She accepted. We got married over there in the Philippines. About 8 months later, she was here in the United States, and we've been married for 8 years and probably 5 or 6 months. And it's really hard to believe. I wish I had this channel for that long, but the channel's been here for about 5 years and 10 months, and please subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea. I've got a playlist called Just Us if you're interested in seeing my wife and I. That's on YouTube, though. A couple hundred videos. You have to go there to see that. I don't know how to do playlists here on TikTok. There are advantages on TikTok and there are advantages on YouTube. So I will occasionally try to answer some questions or make remarks on comments made on TikTok. TikTok has done very well for me compared to YouTube as far as viewer engagement and people, subbing or following and leaving comments and likes and all of that. Much better on TikTok. So I've got it probably spread out over 7 or 8 different social media platforms because I want to get this message out. It's very important to me. So even if it was a midlife crisis, the thing that I care, and it wasn't for me, but if it is in somebody's case, the only thing, if you watch my videos, that I'm mostly concerned about is the attitude that the man has for his Filipina wife, that he treat her with the highest regard and respect, and he be determined to be the very best husband that he can be to his love beyond the sea.